You check your bank account, and somehow, even though you got paid 2 weeks ago, there's almost nothing left. Sound familiar? Here's the truth nobody tells you. Being broke usually has very little to do with how much money you make. It has everything to do with what you do with it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 10 everyday money habits that are quietly keeping you poor, and exactly how to flip each one around. Number 7 is the one almost everyone does without even noticing. Let's get into it. If you've ever wondered why your paycheck disappears before the month even ends, you're not alone. And it's usually not one big mistake. It's 10 small, repeatable habits, done automatically, week after week, without you even noticing. The good news, once you can see a habit clearly, you can change it. Think of this video as a mirror. For the next 12 minutes, I want you to be honest with yourself and count how many of these you actually do. Stick around till the end, because after habit 10, I'll show you one simple weekly habit that fixes almost all of them at once. Let's start with habit number 1. Habit number 1, paying yourself last. Most people get paid and the money goes. Rent, bills, groceries, fun. And then whatever is left over, if anything, goes to savings. Think about it like pouring water into cups. If you fill every other cup first, the savings cup almost always ends up empty. The fix is simple. Flip the order. The moment your paycheck arrives, pay yourself first, even if it's just 10%, before a single bill is paid. Treat your savings like the most important bill you have, because it is. For example, imagine 2 coworkers earning the exact same salary. One saves first and spends what's left. The other spends first and saves what's left. Usually nothing. After 5 years, the difference between them isn't luck. It's order. Habit number 2, emotional spending. Stressful day at work? A new pair of shoes suddenly feels necessary. Bored on a Sunday? Add to cart. This is spending as a mood fix, not a need. The problem is the good feeling from an impulse purchase usually lasts minutes, but the bill sits there for weeks. A simple trick. Whenever you feel the urge to buy something unplanned, wait 24 hours before clicking buy. Most of the time, the urge quietly disappears on its own. For example, someone who feels the pull to buy a new gadget every time they're stressed could instead write the feeling down, wait a day, and often realize they didn't actually need it at all. Habit number 3, not tracking where your money goes. This is like driving with a blindfold on. You might still be moving, but you have no idea if you're headed toward a wall. Without a budget, small expenses hide in plain sight. Forgotten subscriptions, delivery fees, little just this once purchases that happen every week. The fix isn't complicated. Once a month, write down every single thing you spent, even the small stuff, and sort it into simple categories: needs, wants, savings. For example, someone tracking their spending for the first time often finds they're spending more on food delivery each month than on their entire electricity bill, and had no idea until they saw it written down. Habit number 4, relying only on trading hours for money, with nothing else being built. This is the hamster wheel problem. You run and run, the wheel spins, but you never actually move forward. Because the moment you stop running, everything stops. A job is a great engine for income, but it shouldn't be the only one. The fix is to slowly build things that can earn even while you're not actively working. Savings that earn interest, a small side skill you sell, or investments that grow over time. For example, someone who only relies on their salary has to work forever just to keep the lights on, while someone who also invests a little each month is slowly building a second engine that works even while they sleep. Habit number 5, lifestyle inflation. Spending more every time you earn more. You get a raise, and almost immediately, a nicer apartment, a newer phone, and pricier nights out follow along. It feels like progress, but your savings rate never actually improves. Picture a balloon. Every time income goes up, more air goes in, and the balloon just gets bigger and bigger, until one day it's stretched so thin it pops with any small emergency. The fix isn't to never enjoy a raise, it's to split it. For example, if you get a 10% raise, put half of that increase towards savings or investments, and only let the other half upgrade your lifestyle. Your life still improves, but your safety cushion grows too. Habit number 6, ignoring small, repeated expenses. A forgotten subscription here, a daily coffee there. Each one feels tiny and harmless, but a dripping faucet doesn't look dangerous either, until you realize how much water is wasted after a whole year of dripping. The same thing happens with money. A small daily expense adds up to a surprisingly large number over 12 months. The fix is a simple once-a-month check. Look through your bank statement and cancel anything you're paying for but not actually using. For example, someone might discover 3 different streaming subscriptions they forgot about, quietly draining money every month for services they haven't opened in weeks. Habit number 7, and this is the big one almost everyone does without noticing. Using credit for things you can't actually afford and only paying the minimum. Debt itself isn't evil. It's a tool, but debt used to fund a lifestyle you can't sustain works like quicksand. The more you spend to feel comfortable, the deeper you sink, and interest charges make it harder to climb back out every month. The fix is simple, even if it's not always easy. Pay balances in full whenever possible, and if you're already carrying debt, attack the highest interest debt first. For example, 2 people can owe the exact same amount, but the one who only pays the minimum can end up paying years longer and thousands more in interest for the very same purchases. Habit number 8, having no emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. A car repair, a medical bill, a sudden job loss, and without a cushion, any one of these can instantly turn into new debt. Think of an emergency fund like a safety net under a tightrope walker. Nobody plans to fall, but everybody's grateful the net is there when they do. The fix is to build 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in a separate, easy-to-access savings account, even if you start with just a small amount each month. For example, someone with even a small emergency fund can pay for a surprise car repair in cash and move on with their week, while someone without one might still be paying off that same repair, with interest, a year later. Habit number 9, leaving all your money sitting still. Cash sitting in a regular account for years doesn't just stay the same, it quietly loses value because prices keep rising every year, while that money isn't growing at all. It's like a seed left inside its packet, in a drawer, forever. It's safe, but it never becomes anything more. The fix is to let some of your money actually grow through simple, long-term investing, even in small, steady amounts. For example, someone who plants a small amount regularly into a long-term investment and simply leaves it alone for many years often ends up with far more than someone who saved the same total amount in cash sitting in a drawer, purely because one seed was planted and the other never was. Habit number 10, having no clear financial goal. Without a destination, it's very easy to just drift, spending money on whatever feels good in the moment. Because there's nothing specific being saved toward, it's like typing an address into a map app versus just driving around with no destination at all. One gets you somewhere on purpose. The other just burns fuel. The fix is to write down 1 or 2 clear, specific goals, an amount, and a rough date. For example, save $3,000 for a trip in 10 months, or save $10,000 for a house deposit in 2 years. A specific goal gives every saving decision a reason, and reasons are what make a habit stick. So, let's recap. 10 habits. Paying yourself last. Emotional spending. No budget. Only trading time for money. Lifestyle inflation. Ignoring small leaks. Misusing debt. No emergency fund. Letting money sit idle. And having no clear goal. Notice that none of these are about how much you earn. They're all about decisions, repeated often enough to become automatic. And here's the one simple habit that helps fix almost all 10 at once. Once a week, spend just 10 minutes looking at your money. What came in, what went out, and what you're working toward. That single habit, done weekly, turns every point on this list from something that happens to you into something you control. None of these 10 habits are complicated, and none of them require you to earn more money right away. They just require a little more awareness, one small decision at a time. Pick just one habit from this list, the one that felt the most familiar while you were watching, and work on fixing only that one this week. Small, repeated changes are what actually build long-term wealth, not one dramatic overhaul. If this video helped you see something clearly, hit like so that more people can find it, subscribe for more simple, practical money lessons, and let me know in the comments which habit number was the biggest wake-up call for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.